Climate change is having a profound impact on the planet's oceans. It can be seen in the collapse of massive coral reefs and rising sea levels. For tonight's interview, we are joined by Philippe Cousteau, oceanographer, environmentalist, and grandson of the French explorer Jacques Cousteau. Thanks so much for being with us.
John, delighted to be here.
Let's say you could somehow, through magic, talk to your grandfather. Tell him about the state of the oceans right now.
Well, listen, I think he would be very alarmed by what's happening in the world today. We're seeing massive ecological decline in the health of the ocean, a trend that he saw, in his lifetime. But there's also a lot of good things happening too, and that's critical to remember.
So what gives you hope?
Well, I'm here this week in New York for Climate Week, and I'm meeting with investors and business leaders because we're looking at how you can scale solutions to some of the biggest problems facing the ocean. And of course, the ocean is the life support system of this planet. It couldn't be more important to everybody on Earth. It's 70% of our planet, right? And so we're here really investigating how we scale some of the solutions that we're engaged in, particularly around coral reefs, that can solve problems.
When you make those pitches, give me one or two of the stakes for people. Like 70% you mentioned, but what does that mean? For me, I'm living in Oklahoma. Sure. There is no ocean.
Sure. Well, the ocean regulates our climate, right? So if we like our rainfall, we like that feeds our crops. We like stable weather. We like to have clean water. All of these things are driven by the ocean. Our weather, our climate is driven by the ocean. So no matter where you live, the ocean impacts you.
And so what are when you talk about scaling solutions, give me one of the solutions, say, on the reefs that you're most interested in?
Well, so my grandfather at his core was a problem solver. And that's part of my legacy, that I look to solve problems. And in particular, one of the biggest problems we're facing in the ocean is the collapse of coral reefs. Now, people think of coral reefs as pretty fish and snorkeling, but in fact, they're home to 25% of the world's fisheries, critical to global economy, and they provide a role as a shield along coastal communities, protecting them from increasingly catastrophic storms. And yet half the world's coral reefs had disappeared in 40 years. And so we launched a company, Voyacy Regen, as a blue tech company developing and rebuilding coral reefs as critical national infrastructure to protect coastlines from these increasingly damaging storms that are threatening hundreds of billions of dollars and hundreds of millions of lives every year.
And remind people why they're disappearing.
So they're disappearing because of pollution, of course, localized pollution, and also the ocean is getting warmer, and that's causing bleaching. And in our labs, in our technology, we can grow heat-tolerant corals 20 times faster than they grow in the wild, replant them onto 3D printed structures that then protect those coastlines. It is a clear economic ROI for those communities and can be a successful business that also provides jobs and restores the ocean.
So is it for that community, it's that you have protection from the weather, right? And wait a minute, so I got to go back. You're building them and printing them out?
Yeah. So what's amazing, the technology of 3D construction printing now and the scale, we're talking kilometers, not reef balls and small little pieces. We're talking 8 meters tall, 8 meters wide, kilometers long. So really thinking about reefs and these kinds of ecosystems as critical national infrastructure like roads or rail. And thinking about it that way, not protecting and restoring reefs because they're beneficial and biodiverse and wonderful and beautiful, and they're all those things, but also thinking from a commercial perspective, as a business, if we're going to scale the impact and protection of these systems and rebuilding of these systems, there needs to be a clear ROI, and that's what we're building.
Philippe Cousteau, that was really fascinating. Thank you so much for being here.
Good things happening. Thank you for having me, John.